Welcome back to Horoscope TV. I'm incredibly excited to be back behind the microphone today because we are looking at a week that is, quite frankly, massive.
It really is.
We're zooming in way in on the week of February 9th to February 15th, 2026. And we aren't just doing a general sweep of the stars today. No, we are dedicating this entire session to the sign of the scales.
For Libra listeners.
Exactly.
And it's good to be here. You are absolutely right to hype this up. If you're a Libra, or, if you have significant Libra placement, sun, rising, moon, this isn't just another week where you check if you should buy a lottery ticket.
Right.
This is a week that marks a fundamental shift in your cosmic architecture.
I was looking at the data we prepared, and honestly, it felt a bit like reading the opening chapter of a novel. We have this massive event happening on Valentine's Day, of all days.
Oh, no.
February 14th, Saturn enters Aries.
Exactly. That is the headline.
Yeah.
That is the bold, all-caps breaking news for this forecast. When Saturn moves signs, it's a big deal for everyone. But for Libra, this is, well, it's personal.
Very personal.
Saturn is moving into Aries, which is your opposite sign. That initiates a cycle that is going to define the next 2 years of your life, specifically regarding how you relate to other people.
So we have this heavy, serious planet moving into the relationship zone on Valentine's Day. I mean, talk about timing.
You can't make it up.
But then, looking at the rest of the astrological weather, it's not all doom and gloom, right? We have some interesting movement with Venus happening earlier in the week.
We do, and that's what makes this week so complex. It's a study in contrasts. On one hand, you have the heavy structural shifts of Saturn. But on February 10th, that's Tuesday, Venus moves into your 6th house.
Okay.
That is a completely different energy. That brings a sense of joy to the daily grind, the routine, the small details of life.
It's like the universe is saying, okay, we're going to completely renovate the foundation of your marriage or your business partnerships, but hey, look how nice your organized sock drawer looks.
That is actually a perfect analogy. It is the tension between the macro and the micro. The big headline is that relationships are getting serious and, yeah, potentially heavy. The secondary theme is that your day-to-day life, your health, your workspace, your coffee routine is getting a lovely upgrade.
So to our Libra listeners tuning in right now, buckle up. This week is going to require you to do some serious adulting when it comes to the people in your life.
Absolutely.
But you're also going to feel a really strong, almost magnetic pull to color code your calendar and drink a lot of water.
100%.
It's a mix of high-stakes emotional restructuring and really satisfying daily maintenance.
Let's start with the big one. Let's analyze this Saturn shift.
Let's unpack it, because Saturn is often painted as the bad guy in astrology, right? The taskmaster, the karma bringer. And now he is parking himself in Aries for 2 years. What does the geometry of that actually look like for a Libra?
It's a great question. So think of a wheel, the zodiac wheel. Libra is at one side. Directly across the wheel, 180 degrees away, is Aries. When a planet is in the sign opposite yours, we call it an opposition.
Right, opposition.
Now, in astrology, an opposition acts like a mirror. When Saturn is in your own sign, you feel the weight on your shoulders. You feel that pressure internally. But when Saturn is in the opposite sign, you see Saturn through other people.
Oh, okay. So if I'm a Libra, I'm not necessarily feeling the heaviness inside me, but I'm encountering it out there in the world.
Precisely. The people around you, your spouse, your business partner, your clients, even your open enemies, they become the agents of Saturn.
They become Saturn.
In a way, yes. They reflect strict realities back to you. Saturn represents structure, boundaries, time, and karma. So for the next 2 years, starting February 14th, your relationships are going through a structural integrity test.
I love that image of a structural integrity test. It reminds me of when you buy a house and you hire an inspector. The inspector doesn't care if the paint is a pretty color or if the curtains are nice. They want to know, is the foundation cracked? Is the wiring up to code?
That is the Saturn function.
Yeah.
That is exactly what is happening to Libra relationships. If the relationship, the house, in your analogy, has a strong foundation, Saturn grants what we might call a certificate of occupancy.
Okay.
The relationship solidifies. It becomes a serious commitment, marriage, long-term business contracts, tenure. But if the inspector goes into the basement and finds rot,
House gets condemned.
it gets condemned. This is why we see so many breakups or dissolutions of partnerships during Saturn oppositions. It's not because the universe is cruel. It's because the structure couldn't support the weight of reality.
I'm looking at the charts. The implication is clear. You're learning to set boundaries with others. Now, I know a few Libras. I love them dearly. But setting boundaries isn't typically their favorite hobby.
No, it's their kryptonite.
They're the diplomats, the
Ah.
peacekeepers.
It is incredibly difficult for them. Libra is ruled by Venus. It seeks harmony, connection, and equilibrium. Saying no or drawing a hard line in the sand feels, well, it feels counterintuitive to their nature. It feels like disruption.
Right, like they're failing at their job of keeping everyone happy.
Exactly. But Saturn doesn't care about politeness. Saturn cares about respect. And under this transit, the tolerance for ambiguity drops to zero.
The go-with-the-flow attitude isn't going to cut it anymore.
Not with Saturn and Aries. Aries is assertive. It's I am. Saturn in Aries facing Libra is demanding that the Libra individual stand up for themselves. It's a step up or step out dynamic.
Step up or step out. I like that.
If a partner isn't meeting you halfway, you can't just smooth it over with a smile anymore. The cosmic weather just won't support the denial.
That sounds intense, but also kind of necessary. It's like a maturation point.
It is growing up. It's realizing that peace at the expense of your own boundaries isn't actually peace, it's just submission. And Saturn is here to correct that.
Okay, that is the heavy stuff hitting on Saturday, Valentine's Day. Let's rewind a bit to earlier in the week. Tuesday, February 10th. Venus, the ruler of Libra, makes a move.
She does.
She enters the 6th house, and the forecast indicates your daily life is about to get a lovely upgrade. I'm here for this.
This is the breath of fresh air. This is the counterbalance. While Saturn is storming the castle of your relationships, Venus is tidying up the scullery.
Oh, I love that.
The 6th house governs our daily rituals, our health, our service, and our work environment. When Venus, the planet of beauty and pleasure, enters the sector, drudgery becomes delightful.
This is the Marie Kondo energy I was talking about. It's finding actual joy in organizing.
It really is. Usually, cleaning the house or filing paperwork is a chore. But with Venus here, there is an aesthetic satisfaction in it. It's not just about things being clean, it's about things being beautiful.
I can picture the Libra listener right now. They were stressed about their boyfriend or girlfriend because of the Saturn energy, so what do? They go to the store and buy 12 matching glass jars for their pantry.
And that is actually a very healthy coping mechanism for this week. Control what you can control. The chart suggests that you might find joy in organizing your space or starting a new self-care routine. It's about romanticizing your life.
Right.
Not the big sweep you off your feet romance, but the romance of a perfectly brewed cup of coffee in the morning.
Or buying fresh flowers for your desk. That's an example that came to mind.
Yes. The data indicates that workplace harmony is highlighted. Your coworkers are pleasant, the vibe is good, because Venus is smoothing over the rough edges of the daily grind.
So this is the time to really lean into making your environment nice.
Oh, absolutely. If you are a Libra, take advantage of this. Decorate your cubicle, buy the ergonomic chair that also looks stylish, make your workspace a place you actually want to be.
It's interesting how these two things coexist. You might be having a come-to-Jesus meeting with your spouse in the evening, but during the day, you and your coworker are having a lovely time picking out a new plan for the office.
That's the duality of astrology. We contain multitudes. And frankly, having that sanctuary at work or in your daily routine provides the emotional bandwidth you need to handle the Saturn stuff.
That makes so much sense.
If your desk is messy and your back hurts, you have less patience for the relationship drama. If your environment is serene, you can think more clearly.
Speaking of relationship drama or relationship seriousness, let's deeply analyze the love and relationship section. The Outlook says, love is getting very serious. And it uses that phrase again, no games.
We are seeing the Saturn influence bleeding into the romance forecast heavily here. Saturn in the relationship sector creates a binary state. Committed or over. There is very little gray area.
No more, it's complicated.
No. The planetary alignment notes that you want to know exactly where you stand.
So the situationship is dead.
The situationship is on life support, and Libra is about to pull the plug. If you've been dating someone casually and you're wondering, where is this going? Well, this is the week you ask. And if the answer is vague, if they say, let's just see what happens.
Libra walks.
Libra walks. That is the prediction. If someone is not willing to step up, you might decide to walk away. It's that ultimatum energy. But it's not an ultimatum born out of drama. It's born out of self-respect.
What about the single Libras? If they're looking for love this week, what should they be looking for? Or what will they find themselves drawn to?
Well, because of Saturn, the attraction triggers are shifting. Usually, Libra might like someone charming, beautiful, maybe a bit flashy.
Right, the classic Venusian type.
Exactly. But right now, The forecast says they will be attracted to older or more mature partners who offer stability.
They want a daddy or a mommy, someone who has their life together.
In a sense, yes, it's less about age and more about maturity. They want someone who shows up on time, someone who has a savings account, someone who isn't going to flake. Stability is the new sexy.
And there's a note here about where they might meet this stable person. It connects back to Venus in the 6th house.
It does.
You might meet someone at the gym or through work.
That makes perfect sense. The 6th house is the gym. It's the workplace. It's your daily routine. So keep your eyes open during your Pilates class or in the break room.
Okay, a little practical advice?
The person who consistently wipes down the machine after using it, that's your target. That shows respect for the environment and others. Very Saturn, very Venus in the 6th.
I love that. The gym crush potential is high. But there is a warning here. A specific red flag day, February 15th, Sunday.
Yes, we have to talk about Sunday. The astrology shows Venus squaring Lilith.
Lilith always brings a bit of spice, doesn't she? A bit of chaos.
Lilith is the wild card. She represents the rebellious, the taboo, the exiled feminine. When Venus, the planet of polite society and love, squares off with Lilith, it creates friction.
So what does that friction look like in real life?
The forecast warns that a workplace romance could turn sour, or there might be gossip involved.
So if you do meet that cute person at work, maybe you don't make out with them in the supply closet on Sunday.
Absolutely not. And be very careful about what you say to coworkers on this day. The energy is ripe for secrets to be spilled or for innocent comments to be misinterpreted as malicious.
Right.
You want to maintain that office harmony we talked about earlier. Don't let the Lilith energy drag you into the mud right at the end of the week.
Keep it professional. Keep it clean. Which transitions us perfectly into the career and professionalism section. There is a specific date mentioned here for a fateful project, February 12th.
Thursday, February 12th. We have Mercury conjunct the node.
And what does that mean in plain English?
Well, the nodes of the moon relate to destiny and our future path. Mercury is communication, information, contracts. When they meet, it signals a conversation or a piece of information that feels, well, destined.
It might not look like a burning bush, though, right? It's not going to be some grand announcement.
Yeah. Rarely. It usually looks like an email, or a casual comment from a boss, or a job posting that catches your eye. The advice here is to pay attention to the details on Wednesday and Thursday. Something is coming across your desk that links to your future path. It might seem small now, but it's a seed.
Okay, so pay attention. But of course, because we have Saturn opposing the sign, it's not all high fives in the boardroom. The forecast warns about tough critics.
This is the other side of the Saturn coin. In your career, you might face a client who is impossible to please, or a boss who is scrutinizing your work with a magnifying glass.
The psychological coaching based on the transit says, do not take it personally, which is easier said than done for a Libra who often ties their self-worth to being liked.
It is very hard, but the key is to understand why the criticism is happening. Saturn rewards professionalism. It rewards reliability. The forecast says, show up and do the work and you will earn respect.
So it's not about being the star.
No. This isn't about being the most charismatic person in the room. It's about being the most solid, the most dependable.
So if your boss rips apart your presentation, don't get defensive. Don't cry in the bathroom. Just fix it.
Exactly. Use the criticism to polish the diamond. Saturn is trying to make you better, not make you feel bad. If you can detach your ego from the work, you can use that feedback to become undeniable in your field. It's a test of professionalism.
Don't get defensive. Get better. That's a great mantra for the week.
It really is.
Let's look at the wallet. Financial forecast.
Money.
We have a Venus trap here. Finances are stable, says the report,
But Venus in the 6th house loves to spend money on health and beauty products.
I feel attacked.
It is very tempting. You see the expensive serum, the organic cold-pressed juices, the high-end yoga mat. It all feels justifiable because it's for your health or for your routine.
Right. It's an investment in myself.
That's the story we tell ourselves. But the forecast warns, be careful. It is easy to go overboard. A little treat is fine, but don't let it derail your budget.
So try not to spend the whole paycheck on self-care. But there is a more serious financial note here, too, involving Saturn in the 7th house.
Yes, the 7th house isn't just romantic partners, it's business partners. It's contracts. Saturn here suggests you might be in a position where you are merging assets or dealing with legal documents.
And the rule is, make sure everything is fair and balanced. Classic Libra theme.
But with Saturnine consequences. Do not sign without reading twice. Saturn is the planet of consequences. If you sign a contract now that is vague or unfair, you will be living with those consequences for a long time.
So no shortcuts.
This is not the week to handshake on a deal. This is the week to get it in writing, get a lawyer to look at it, and make sure the terms are crystal clear.
And then we have another warning for Sunday, February 15th. It's not just the gossip danger. There's a financial danger, too. Malefic besieged. That sounds like a heavy metal band.
It does, doesn't it? Malefic besieged is an old astrological term. It essentially means the moon, which often signifies the flow of money or public mood, is trapped between two difficult planets, or malefics.
Okay, and what does that translate to?
In this context, it suggests a squeeze, a brief moment of scarcity.
So don't go to the casino on Sunday.
Definitely do not gamble, and maybe don't make any risky investments. The forecast says there could be a delay in funds, maybe a transfer doesn't go through, or a client pays late. Don't panic. It's a brief transit. But keep the wallet closed on Sunday. Play it safe.
Moving on to the body. Health and wellness. We talked about the skincare routine, but what else is going on physically for Libra?
It's a paradox. You have Venus boosting your desire for wellness, which is great. It'll make you want to go to the gym, eat a salad.
Right.
But you have Saturn opposing your sun, which can physically feel like a weight. It can lower vitality.
So you might feel a bit more tired than usual, even if you want to be healthy.
Yes. The prescription here is clear. You need more rest. You cannot burn the candle at both ends this week. If you try to do the heavy emotional work of Saturn and the busy work of the office without sleeping, you will crash.
And are there specific body parts to watch out for?
Libra rules the kidneys and the lower back. The forecast specifically highlights these as sensitive areas.
Lower back makes sense if you're stressed. You carry tension there.
Absolutely. And kidneys relate to hydration and filtration. The advice is to drink lots of water, like more than you think you need. Flesh out toxins.
Okay.
And going back to the Venus trap, wash the sugar. Venus loves sweets, rich foods, indulgence.
So the donut in the break room is calling your name, but your lower back and energy levels are saying, please just drink some water.
Exactly. Balance, as always, is key for Libra. But specifically regarding mental health, there is a nice shift at the end of the week. The moon enters Aquarius on February 15th.
Aquarius is an air sign, like Libra. That sounds helpful.
Yes. And the moon in Aquarius is very good at detachment. It allows you to step back and look at your emotions objectively. So after a week of intense feelings and heavy conversations, Sunday evening offers a chance to just breathe, to intellectualize the stress rather than drowning in it.
That sounds like a relief. Let's get into the fun stuff, the aesthetics, the luck. What is the color of the week?
Pastel pink. Specifically, hex code #FFD1DC.
Very specific. Why pink? Is it just because it's Valentine's week?
It fits the season, but psychologically, pastel pink is soothing. It represents softness, self-love, and calming the nervous system.
Oh, I like that.
Amidst all this Saturn pressure, the step up or step out, energy wearing pink or having pink around you is a visual reminder to be gentle with yourself. It softens the hard edges of Saturn.
And Ella lucky numbers.
We have 6, 15, 24, 33, 42, and 60.
I'm seeing a pattern there. They're all divisible by 3.
And 6. They are multiples of 3 and 6. In numerology, 6 is the number of Venus. It represents harmony, family, and responsibility. It aligns perfectly with the Venusian themes of the week.
And the best dates. When should you schedule the important stuff?
February 10th and 11th. That's Tuesday and Wednesday.
Okay.
These are the days right as Venus enters that 6th house. These are your best days for productivity, for health kicks, and for just having a pleasant time at work. If you have a difficult task to do, schedule it for Tuesday or Wednesday.
Got it. Okay, let's talk about the people in your life. The social circle forecast. Who is your best friend this week?
Your best match is Aquarius.
A breath of fresh air. I can see that.
Aquarius is the fellow air sign. When things get too heavy, and Saturn is making things heavy, Aquarius is the one who cracks a joke. They don't get bogged down in the drama. They connect with you intellectually.
The forecast says they will distract you with interesting stories and new ideas.
And that is exactly what Libra needs. A distraction, a different perspective, someone who doesn't demand huge emotional labor from you. Aquarius is independent. They don't need you to hold their hand, which is a relief when you are trying to hold your own life together.
On the flip side,
Yeah.
who should you avoid? Who is the worst match?
Capricorn.
Sorry, Capricorns. Why are they on the do not call list this week?
It's the energy. Capricorn is ruled by Saturn.
Oh, so it's a Saturn overload.
Exactly. Libra is already dealing with enough Saturn energy from the opposition in Aries. Hanging out with a Capricorn this week might feel like doubling down on the pressure.
They are too heavy.
Too heavy, too demanding. The forecast warns they might be critical or controlling. They might try to enforce rules when you just need space to breathe.
Avoid serious discussions with them if possible.
Yes, they will feel like a judge and jury. And since you are already feeling judged by the cosmos, you don't need it from your lunch date, too.
So true.
Stick with the Aquarius who wants to talk about aliens or new technology. Avoid the Capricorn who wants to talk about your 5-year plan and your credit score.
Great advice. So we've covered a lot of ground. We've looked at the massive shift of Saturn, the lovely upgrade of Venus, the career fate, the health checks. Let's analyze this, or rather, let's analyze the whole picture.
If we zoom out, the narrative of this week is profound. Monday through Wednesday is about preparation and enjoyment. You have Venus entering the 6th house. Use those days to get your life in order.
Organize, clean, enjoy your work.
Exactly. Look for that fateful project on Thursday.
And then comes Valentine's Day, Saturday.
Saturday is the shift. Saturn enters Aries. The tone changes. It becomes about structural integrity in relationships. You are setting the stage for the next 2 years. You are drawing lines in the sand.
And Sunday is the caution day.
Yes. Sunday requires mindfulness. Don't gossip, don't gamble, and try to detach mentally in the evening with that Aquarius moon.
So what does this all mean for the listener? Why should they care about planetary movements?
Because it gives you a roadmap. Knowing that Saturn is bringing a test helps you not to panic when the test arrives.
Right.
Instead of thinking, why is my relationship so hard right now? You can think, this is the structural inspection. Is my foundation strong? It moves you from a place of victimhood to a place of agency.
It's about building a container for your life.
Exactly. Saturn builds the container. Venus fills it with beauty. This week, you are doing both. You are building a stronger, more honest container for your relationships, and you are filling your daily life with small, beautiful rituals that support your well-being.
I love that. It's empowering.
It is. It's a week of growing up. But growing up doesn't have to be miserable. It can be organized, it can be hydrated, and it can be done while wearing pastel pink.
I have one final question for our listeners to mull over. We talked about boundaries and the fear of being alone versus the need for respect. Here's the provocative thought for the week. As you face this Saturn opposition, are you holding on to a relationship out of love, or are you holding on to it just out of a fear of the empty space that would be left if it ended?
That is the question, and I think this week the stars are going to force you to answer it.
On that note, thank you so much for tuning in to this week's analysis on Horoscope TV. We hope this guide helps you navigate the cosmic weather ahead.
Remember, the stars guide, but you decide. You have the free will to navigate these energies however you choose.
If you enjoyed this look into the Libra forecast, please subscribe to Horoscope TV. That way you'll get notified immediately when next week's forecast is available. And trust me, you won't want to miss it as we settle into this new Saturn cycle.
Goodbye and good luck.
See you next time.